Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 28th. It is 6:22 right now. The market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'll go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started with our session for this morning. Um, Looks like price is like temporarily pushing up right now. I think it's going to come back down though. I'm looking for a bearish bias for the day, but we'll have to see what happens when the market does open. We do have news coming up at 7, I believe. So I will check that over a little later as well. But for now, let's get this set up. All right. That's good. One more thing here, and I think everything is good to go. All right, so let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, link is sent out. Looks like we are good to go. All right. All right, as people join the room, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the areas of liquidity over here. Let's start off with the 1 hour. Back from here. Solid. We went on to the 30-minute. $15-minute. $10-minute. Uh, 5-minute, and then lastly the 1 minute. We'll be wrapping this up here for the areas of liquidity. So one last one, back to the 1 minute. And we should be good. All right, solid. So there goes all of the areas of liquidity here from 1 hour down to the 1 minute. As you guys can see, there's liquidity on both sides, but there's a lot more liquidity above. So price might push up slightly before it comes down. But for the most part, there's just no direction really. If you look over here at the, looks like more than half of you guys are here already. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the bias. So looking over here at retail sentiment, it is currently 51% long, 49% short. It's pretty much right down the middle. There's no bias here with regard to retail sentiment. Looking over at the fundamentals right now, they're currently up 157 points, but this can instantly change when the market does open shortly in about 3 minutes. Other than that, there's not really much clear direction. So you can see that price is attempting to push its way up. However, it's right in the middle of these sessions right here. So price can easily just reject off and come right back down. So just something to be aware of. We also have news coming up shortly as well. Let me check if there was news this morning. I think there was at 6 o'clock. So there's news at 5:30, 6, and 7. So I'm going to mark that up real quick. news at 5:30. There. Six, and then again at 7. News at 6. And then we have one more news event coming up at 7 over here. And as you can see, price is starting to make its way down. No surprise there. Price was just at the sessions. So that's why you want to avoid the sessions. I'll mark this area up later. It's really necessary right now to mark this side up. All right, so we got about 2 minutes till market open. As you guys can see from our analysis, there's no overall bias. This is normal, guys. It's summer, so the volatility is dying down. There's not really much of a clear direction. You're going to get some time, like some days where it's going to be like this. And then all of a sudden, midway through the week, there's going to be some sort of direction. So when the market's moving like this and it's very uncertain, it's best for you and us as a majority to just sit out the markets when it's not really moving directional, or we're able to identify what the bias is, because you're going to get days like this where the market's super tricky, and it's just best to sit out sometimes rather than risking any losses, because there's always going to be other days. Like, it's still Tuesday today, so we have the rest of the week to really allow the market to develop confluences to determine where the direction is going. You can see here liquidity just got hit, and the market is going to open in about 30 seconds. So looking over here at the breakout can really go either way. There's no bias. We can't really determine which direction price will be going. I'm going to see how the market is moving, but I think overall I'll still be looking for a sell. As you can see, like, price will correct back down eventually. It'll push up for some amount and then it'll just correct right back down. So overall, I think price is still coming down. It's not like we're getting out of this recession anytime soon. We're not even officially in the recession yet, but I do think it's going to come back down eventually. So right now for the breakout, we're looking for a strong green candle. The reason for the strong green candle is because we have a momentum signal here for a buy. So if this closes here as a strong green candle, this could technically be the breakout. However, I don't think it's going to be one that I would plan on taking. For one, it's a huge candle, so it's probably going to retrace quite a bit and then possibly reverse. And you can see right there, huge wick right there. So you can see the big rejection off that point. We'll see where this candle closes. If it does close with a strong green candle, I will mark it up as the breakout, but I'm probably not going to be taking it. The wick on here is a little too big, so definitely no breakout off that candle right there. So no breakout for this candle. Main reason is because you need a strong green candle. So confirm strong candle in the direction momentum. Momentum is bullish right here. So you're definitely looking for a strong green candle before taking this breakout. The strong green candle is going to be a green candle with little to no wick on the top side. If this does close as a breakout, one thing that you guys want to be careful for is the sessions that is above here. There's a red line right here for the sessions. That is going to be the London high, I believe. So you want to be careful because price can easily reject right off it. So it's going to be an area right here where price can possibly bounce off. So this might be the breakout, but the candle here might be too big. So again, right here, a couple red flags. Price is near sessions, and candle is just too large. But it looks like this is going to be the breakout entry right here. So if you guys want to take it, take at your own risk. If you're in profit, I recommend you move your stop loss in profit. You can see it's pushing up past these sessions. One thing that you want to be careful for is that one or two things will happen. Price will bounce off or will continue pushing up. It is in profit right now, but you can see that it's starting to get a little iffy. You can see how it's starting to wick off the top. And this is exactly why I would have sat out, because you can see right there how it's wicking. It's very uncertain which direction it's going to go. So if you guys are in this position, you're holding the breakout, I recommend you move your stop loss in profit now. I didn't take this trade because there's too many red flags here. Candle was too big and it was right next to the sessions, which is this red line right there. And then full TP off the breakout. So if you guys took it, great work. If you didn't, it's all good. I just found it to be too risky in my perspective to take it myself. So I didn't even take it myself. But that was the breakout there. And you guys saw the analysis. So I'll just go over the requirements here again, just to confirm with you guys. So for the breakout here, you're looking for the entry after the 630 candle, which is right here, the opening candle. You want to confirm the overall bias. It's optional, but highly recommended. For me personally, I like to confirm the overall bias. There was no overall bias today, aside from the fundamentals being strong and the technicals. For the third, you want to confirm the direction of momentum. You can see right here, we had a green buy signal. So momentum was bullish. So you're looking for a buy. And for number 4, you want to confirm a strong candle in the direction of momentum. So green candle with minimal wick on top for a buy, red candle with minimal wick on bottom for a sell. With that said, you enter on the close of the strong candle, and it would be this candle right here. And that's how we identified this as the breakout entry. Fixed stop loss TP for 500 pips, full TP. So if you guys caught it, great work. If not, it's all good. I didn't catch it myself because I did find it to be a bit risky since it was right next to these sessions right here. This is probably a late reaction to the news from this morning. If you guys saw the news this morning at 6 o'clock, it was very bullish. Right here, we have HPI and S&P S&P CS composite. Right here was up 1.6% positive news. So this big bullish push is basically like, late reaction to the news. This happened prior to market open. And the news prior to that 5:30 was also bullish. So bullish news all morning. When the market officially opened here at 6:30, people hopped into that buy and pushed it to the upside. Nice. D caught it for 1,000. Looks like Professor caught on his demo. Nice, nice. All right, guys, cool. Yeah, so morning Marlon, morning Cern, morning Kenny, morning David, morning Miles, morning Peter, morning Al, morning Akil, morning Lisa, morning Chris, morning everybody. But yeah, guys, I didn't take this breakout here. It's just, you guys can see how the market's moving. It's moving pretty crazy. You get like these dead periods and then these random spikes in price. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily random. It's just late reaction to the news. News happened right here at 6 o'clock. But this is very unusual for it to keep pushing this high. I don't think this entire push here was based off the news. I think price just pushed up and then people start bandwagoning on these buys here. This is perfectly fine because I'm looking for price to, possibly make its way down, possibly right here when the news comes out at 7. But I don't think this is going to hold for too long. This is obviously, it's just a random spike in price to the upside. So we'll see where this goes. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm looking for. Nice. Some of you guys here sent in your profits. Milzon sent in his profits for the breakout. He locked in a total of 1,980. Nice work, Milzon. Close to 2,000 on that account. Jermaine over here, looks like he took the breakout as well. Locked in a total profit of 1,941. Nice work, Jermaine. Milzon's second account over here locked in a total of 480. Nice work, Milzon. And Kenny over here took the breakout as well, locked in a total of 984.50 cents. So nice work, guys, for whoever took the breakout. I didn't take it myself, so I don't have profits to show, unfortunately. And his third account over here, 480 as well, 6 cents. So nice work, Malzahn. Other than that, nothing else at the moment. Let's see, Akil said V3. So I don't know if this would be a V3 because I don't think the stop loss is wide enough. You need to be at least 300 pips. Actually, this could be a V3 here. Yeah, you're right, Akil. It is a V3. I don't think there's a bias though, so it's a bit difficult for me to want to take a trade like this because it's really hard to gauge when it's done pushing, right? However, I do have a sell bias. So if you guys took the V3 right there, that was a nice V3 kill. Not sure if you caught it, but it was a solid V3. It actually fit the requirements. Aside from the overall bias, we can't really confirm this anyways because there's not going to be one today. But everything else was met. So if you guys are taking any of these trades, I recommend a pull out accordingly when TP hits, because there's just no clear direction. If we had a sell bias, then you can take the sell and it'll probably keep pushing lower, right? But you can see for this right here, price hit TP and now it's pushing back up. So you can't get greedy on these trades. You have to get in and out accordingly. Because the last thing you want to do is get caught in a trade and it continues to push up even higher. Yeah, Akil said I didn't take it because the market was scary. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have taken it either. It's really hard for us to get this overall bias right now. I want price to push in one direction. Now sentiment is changing in the opposite direction. It's starting to shift. I don't think this is a reversal. I think this is just a temporary shift in price. Like I don't think the market is poised to correct back to the upside just yet. I think this is just temporary. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 431 points. Yeah, the market is moving very bullish right now. So I would be careful with taking any trades unless like you have a really good idea that price is going to, obviously make its way back down. So looking at this right here, this is very bullish. The retail sentiment is starting to turn bullish. It's not bullish yet, but it's starting to turn bullish slightly. The reason for that is because more retail traders are hopping on the sell side. So a lot of people are trying to pick off the highs, but you don't want to be part of that group because price might just continue pushing up if that's the case. Looking over here at the heat map. Heat map is completely, it's not completely, but it's very green for the most part. So it's very bullish. Looking over here at the actual stock index. Stock index right here is very bullish as well. You can see there's only like about 3 stocks that are red, but they're not even very red. They're not even down 1 point. So looks like United Health Group is carrying US30 on its back. It's up 10 points. Goldman Sachs is up 7 points. Boeing is up 6 points. Caterpillar is up 4 points. Amex is up 4 points, etc. There's not really many red stocks here. So it's going to be really risky to take any sells at this moment because there's no real catalyst pushing price down aside from it being overextended, because price is overextended. Keep that in mind. But just because price is overextended doesn't mean price is going to come down, right? It's crazy. From open right here, market pushed up 2,690 pips. That's super far for a summer session. It happened in about how many minutes? Happened in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In about 5 minutes, price pushed up nearly 3,000 pips. So if that doesn't scream manipulation to you, I don't know what will. So you guys want to be very careful with entering anything at the moment, because price can really go either way at this moment. Price can really come back down to correct back to open in some instances, or it can continue pushing up. My guess is that price was manipulated to the upside, and I think price is going to be manipulated right back to the downside, because technically this is going to be the area where it needs to come down to before it can really consider the market to be stabilized, right? This is where price is supposed to be, down here, but it's like way up here right now. It's pushed up in 5 minutes, and then now it's coming back down. So I'm going to sit tight and just wait, because if anything, price can just continue back to the upside. I mean, who really knows what's going to happen next? These are the worst markets. I was hoping the market would be a lot smoother during the summer, which it typically is. But one thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that the G7 meetings are still going on as well. So if you guys are not familiar with the G7 meetings, it's basically like the big countries here. It's a finance meeting that happens in Europe. Basically, they're talking about the Ukraine war. I forgot the link. The link was here somewhere. But the G7 meeting is going on today, I believe. It was going on yesterday, and it is also going on today, all day. So today's day 3 of the G7 meetings, and they're discussing the recession. They're discussing the Ukraine war, and a lot of things that are going to affect the economy as a whole. So just something to, obviously keep in mind. There's always going to be things going on in the market, but you just want to make sure that you keep an eye out on the more important types of news, stuff regarding economics, world economy, US economy, etc. Because a lot of these companies are world companies, obviously, within the US30. They're all like national companies, and they do have an impact on whatever's going on in like other parts of the world. Yeah, Maria said tomorrow will be the NATO meeting in Madrid. Biden is already in Spain. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on this week, guys. The thing is, it is summer, but it's summer with a lot of these news events. If these news events weren't going on, the market would be pretty slow. But yeah, we do have the G7 meetings for yesterday, Monday, today, and on Sunday. Tomorrow we have OPEC meeting. Then we have Fed member Messer speaking at 3:15 a.m., which is really early. Not sure why he's speaking so early. He might be speaking for the NATO meeting. Then we have final GDP. And then we have Powell speaking again tomorrow at 6 a.m. So pre-market tomorrow, we have a lot of news going on. So even though it's summer and market's moving kind of slow, it's typically supposed to move slow. We have a lot of news this week causing price to just move kind of crazy. So just be careful with the trades you take. I think for me personally, I'm probably going to limit myself to like maybe one trade a day, like one good trade. So I'll probably just sit around, wait for one good trade. And then when I catch it, that's probably going to be it for me. Because with a lot of this volatility, it's going to lead to a lot of greed and a lot of FOMO, because you guys are going to think about a lot of what ifs. Like, what if I took this trade? What if I took that trade? Like, for example, right here, this is this could possibly be a V3. Let me check for a buy. I mean, technically this could fit as a V3 for a buy. It's close, but it's not, I mean, it's not necessarily there, but it's like close enough. But I don't know if I would take a buy here. Obviously there'd be a V3 here for a buy. This would actually fit the requirements if you wanted to take one that was risky, because the sentiment over here, although it's not very strong, it is now bullish. And it aligns with the fundamentals over here, which is currently bullish as well. Technicals are also bullish, but you can see this right here, that there's a lot of manipulation. I wouldn't want to take this trade here for the reason that price is overextended and it has to retrace back to some extent, right? Before it continues to push up higher. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said price is too overextended, could go either way. Yeah, same here. And I agree with you, Maddie. See, and right here, if you took that V3, you probably would have been stopped out. That's why I wouldn't want to take it. And this is why I'm recommending that you guys kind of sit out, because price is just correcting back down after this big push. So that would have been a solid V3 if like it wasn't so like far out overextended. But I would just be, for the most part, really picky about what trades you guys decide to take. So I can show you guys trades as trades appear, but for me personally, just from looking at the market, there are a lot of trades that I would not take, just due to the circumstances right now, current market conditions. Kurt said he's waiting for the daily, so if he sells, you guys should buy. Just do the opposite of Kurt and you'll be rich. Yeah, until Kurt starts to get it down. See, yeah, Kurt's asking, Sean, do you think price will drop back? Yeah, and that's kind of what's happening right here. Whenever price has a big push like this, typically it has to correct back down. My target level for this is going to be somewhere around this area over here, as I mentioned. This is the target correction area. So basically, if and when price gets down to this point, it's basically going to act as if this push up never happened, right? You guys have seen this pattern before. Price just comes back to this area and then it just consolidates from here. Then it'll choose its direction, whether it bounces back up higher and continues, or if it drops below and corrects back to the lower side. So there's just no confirmation as to like what direction price is going. The retail sentiment is too weak. Typically you want the retail sentiment to be at least, 60%. Now it's 50-50. So there's really no direction right now. And you can see here that price is really indecisive as well. We can't really tell whether it's going to range, swing back up, or drop even further. But currently right now, it looks like price is ranging. What I'm waiting for is for it to establish a high. So when it does establish a high over here, then we'll have a tighter range. Once we have that tighter range, price can break out one way or the other. Currently right now, we just don't have that. Let's see. See what else I'm missing over here. Sorry, I'm just checking some stuff. My other buddy's looking for some sells too. Yeah, so I'm just reading some messages from my buddy, the one that trades for the hedge fund. Let's take some sells on NASDAQ, trying to see if it's NASDAQ doesn't align with US30 though, so yeah, he took a sell off US30 and took a fat loss. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, if he took a loss on that, I'm glad I didn't take a loss. But he took a sell when we took the buy here for the breakout, and yeah, his didn't end up very well. Let's see if there's anything else here. So let me see if there's anything else that I'm identifying. A couple questions here. Professor said 10-minute V3 sell pending. E said 10-minute V3 BTO if you want to YOLO. Let me check the 10-minute real quick. Yeah, so there's actually a V3 running here on the 10-minute, just like you guys mentioned. I think you might have to like push it out a little bit, 70 pips or so. V3 right there. Let's see. $67. So it goes a V3 right there off the 10-minute. But I still think it's a bit risky, guys, until there's some sort of direction that's been set. Because the thing is, price is now in a range. So you look here on the 1-minute, price is ranging. Let me see how far of a push this is to that next level. Yeah, it's 370 pips. So in order for this to hit TP, it's going to have to be pretty far down below. It's going to have to be double this, which not to say it's not going to happen, but I mean, I just personally think it's a bit risky. I don't like trading when price is ranging like this. Now that price is ranging, I can wait for a direction to be set. So price is probably going to go sideways for a bit, but eventually it's going to break out to the upside or it's going to break out to the downside, one way or the other. I'm going to go here and mark up the liquidity on the 10-minute. Go and start on the daily over here. Like once you guys mark up these areas of liquidity, this gives you a pretty good roadmap as to like where price is likely to go. Because you can see from earlier and before that we marked this up earlier and we had liquidity on the top side. And you can see price went literally to those areas of liquidity before it ended up bouncing back down. So if you're looking for a sell here or looking to take a sell, these areas of liquidity are going to give you a good idea as to where it's going to push to. All right. It's good. Yeah, it's at 10. And there you go. As you can see, the V3 is still like, it's not really doing too much. It's in profit, but it's kind of flat now. That's why I would have been a bit hesitant when taking a trade here, because this is where you guys can use different time frames to kind of identify where market is moving or not. If you're on the 10-minute, you can't see too much because it's so far out. But going back to the 1 minute over here, you can see it a lot better. That price is literally just ranging. And the range is getting tighter. So you can probably be expecting some sort of breakout to happen here. On the 1 minute, we do have news coming up at 7 o'clock. So in about 6 minutes, we have news coming up right here. And you want to probably stay away from the market right now. I typically try to stay away from the market 10 minutes before news, because that's where you get these kind of weird pushes. Like for example, over here at 6 o'clock, we had news at 6 over here. Price was pretty much just consolidating and ranging over here. And then as soon as news happened at 6 o'clock, you have this big green candle, consolidated a bit before it pushed up even further. So I would be careful looking to take any entries right here. So if you guys are in that 10-minute V3, I do recommend you move your stop loss and profit. I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys can do what you want. But for me, I wouldn't even be in this trade. I do see the V3 there, but I personally wouldn't be in the trade because it's too risky. You can see here on the 1 minute, it's easier to identify that price isn't really going anywhere yet. But the breakout is going to happen soon. Probably when it comes time for news. It's probably going to break out to the upside or break out to the downside. My hope is that it's going to break out to the downside so that it continues its correction further down. But other than that, let's see. Peter's asking, do you target the area where it was in or around or opening price as to where you expect it to drop back to? Yeah, typically opening price, Peter. That's usually going to be the area, or even like that area that I drew. Basically, to identify where the correction may happen is you just zoom out and you look at where price was before this weird push to the upside, right? So before price pushed up right there, price was technically down here, right? Which is going to be opening price. And then I included this area right here because this is all kind of normal area, right? Like this point right here. So this is why I consider this like the zone where price will correct back down to, if it does correct back down to this area. There's no guarantee it's going to come down to this area, but if it does correct back down, it's probably going to come down to this area here and then go sideways before it ends up breaking, out to the upside or to the downside. Because if you guys look at the market, there's always going to be these cycles. Like you guys will see market go from, there's only a couple of ways price can move. It'll either go up, it'll go down, or it'll go sideways, right? These are the typical cycles. So like, as you guys can see right here, price went up, went sideways for a long time, came down, went sideways, and then shot back up. Now what happened from here? Price is now going sideways. And what happens after this? It's either going to break out to the downside or to the upside. It's the same cycle. It just goes back and forth, right? It's directional, ranging, consolidation, directional, ranging, consolidation. Same thing over and over again. It's just a repeat of the same cycle. So it's your job to determine, which direction it's going to go to. Right here, price is currently ranging. I do expect it to possibly drop. That's kind of the direction that I'm aiming for. Because overall, I do think price is going to be bearish. And you can see price is dropping lower right here. Let's see, we got a couple more profits over here. Nice work, Rick. So Rick over here locked in a total of 4,160. Nice work, Rick. Off this account, his second account over here locked in a total of 4,307. Man, Rick's on a roll today. You chicken out of that trade, Rick? I see your sell right here. I don't know if you pulled out of that early. Looks like you were trying to catch it back to open. Or I don't know if that was from right now or earlier, but nice work, Rick. So all of his counts, he locked in about 4,000, 4,100 here, 4,300 here, and then 4,100 again is over here as well. So great work, Rick. Peter over here currently up 297. Nice work, Rick. Or Peter, sorry. Nice work, Peter. Looks like you took a loss off the sell right here. I'm assuming you took this last night. And then this one over here, you took this for the breakout, total profit of 374 off that. So nice work, Peter. Shannon over here, she said recovered from yesterday's swing. No more swings on US30 yet. The swings are dangerous, so just be careful with those. Shannon over here locked in a total profit of 319. I mean, you guys can swing trade, but I personally don't prefer it myself. It's not part of my trading style. I prefer to get in and out quickly and really knowing and understanding where my profits are sitting. Vincent over here as well locked in a total profit of 1,517. Looks like you took the breakout right here this morning. Nice profit. And then over here, you locked into pretty good sells as well. This price came back down. So nice work, Vincent. Hugo over here, total profit of 5,585. He took the breakout. Very nice move right there, Hugo. Yeah, man, Hugo's been killing it. If you guys have seen Hugo, he's basically been taking every breakout. Full TP right there, 5,000 the day before that. Full TP of 4,700 day before that. Full TP 4,800. And Hugo's been killing it. The day before that, 9,788. I might just start taking the breakout and then just holding it because it seems like the breakout has been super on point. So great work right there, Hugo. And thanks for those confirmations for those breakouts. Over here with Al locked in a total of 3,148. Nice work, Al. Pretty much some good wins right there as well. And where's Steven at? If Steven was here and just taking the breakouts like he was doing like months ago, I think he'd be doing really good because that used to be the only trade that he would take. I'm kind of contemplating about just taking the breakouts as well. Maybe I'll take it with a smaller lot size if I feel not as confident about the move. But for the most part, it looks like the breakout has been pretty much solid for most days. As long as you're like taking in the proper direction, like it's hard for me to really determine which direction I want to trade in because there's no bias, but I don't know, it's been pretty solid for a lot of you guys. So let me check over here. The 10-minute is just hit full TP. If you guys took the 10-minute trade here for the V3, it just hit full TP. So just make sure you pull out of that. I don't recommend holding it for too long because you can see price might be swinging back up from that point. So great work to whoever took the V3 right there. If you guys have profits for that, feel free to send them in. I didn't take a trade myself, so I don't have anything to show. My account's pretty dry at the moment. Marco said, made what I had to make, so calling it a day. Thanks, Sean. Definitely, Marco. So we'll see you here back tomorrow. I got you, Rick. Yeah, Rick said V3 at the top, chickened out. Kurt said my V3 dropping good. Biden must be talking or something. Just smacked 28 bucks. Nice work, Kurt. News was negative. Thanks, Peter, for confirming that. I forgot there was news at 7. Oh, so that's another reason why I didn't want to take the 10-minute trade because we had news right here. Consumer confidence was negative. I was kind of assuming it was going to be negative because of the obvious reasons. So there was actually news at 6:59. I didn't even see this on the calendar. There was news at 6:59, and then news at 7. So with that news here at 7, you can see price is now dropping a bit. It's price is reacting to the news event. So I'm going to put up 2 lines over here. One at 7, and then one at 6:59. Solid. So price is still pushing down right here from where it was earlier. This is why I never chase these buys here, guys. So like earlier, we saw price push up. There was a manipulated push to the upside as we anticipated. And now price is coming right back down to where it was prior. So the target is still right here. It's just not there yet. It's hitting the sessions right there, the London high. And we'll see where it goes from there. But other than that, let me see if there's anything else over here for me to. See if there's anything else for me to follow here. Sorry, I'm just checking this other position that I got running. All right, solid. So not really much for us to take right here on US30, but I'm glad to see that price is correcting back down to this area that we anticipated earlier. You know, it just confirms the analysis. I think price is supposed to be coming down. This was just a manipulated push to the upside. If price does come back to this area where the opening price is, it's basically just going to indicate that this here shouldn't have happened, and it's just correcting back down to where it's supposed to be at. Because it was just a random move to the upside right here. I was trying to figure out what was pushing it. The only thing I could think of was news here at 6 o'clock. It was bullish news. The news prior to that, 5:30, was also bullish. So basically from right here, let me just mark up. So from 5:30 right here, up until this point, this is basically news movement. And then price is now coming right back down to where it's supposed to be. And that would have been a nice sell too if I would have taken it down. See more profits over here from you guys. Harry just posted his profits and Kenny as well. So Kenny locked in a pretty good profit here. He took the sell for the 10-minute V3, and then he took the buy earlier for the breakout, locked in a total profit of 1,303. Nice work, Kenny. And then we have Harry over here as well. He took the V3 over here off the 10-minute as well at 702, locked in a total profit of 790. Nice work, Harry. You guys are doing pretty good for a tricky day like this. I'm still waiting for my one good trade. You know, like I mentioned, guys, the market is moving kind of crazy. So for me, I'm just looking for like one solid trade. And then once I have that one solid trade, I'll be able to lock in at least 1K, you know, 1K across 5 accounts, adds that pretty nicely. So here we go. As price makes its way back down to open. This is going to be our target area right here. It's already actually back at it. So as I mentioned earlier, this was the area that I marked up. It's really close. Actually touched it already. So this is the high from earlier. Price is right back into its correction area. So it's corrected right back down to where it's supposed to go. Other than that, I think that's it for the profits right now. Oh, Shannon over here made a little more. So she's had a few more pips, locked in a total profit of 428 for the day. Nice work, Shannon. So a lot of you guys here are up pretty solid. There we go. As price continues to drop lower. There's going to be a targeted price. Targeted price is going to be opening price right here, this blue line. When price reaches that point, it's either going to bounce off it or it's going to continue dropping. If it continues dropping, then it's just going to be a further correction to the downside. But it looks pretty solid. I mean, analysis played out perfectly, which I'm glad, because whenever my analysis doesn't play out or doesn't line up, it, you know, obviously it's going to cause me to go back and review things. But for the most part, it did come back down to where we expected. Looking over here at the sentiment is still 50-50, I think. Yeah, it hasn't really moved very much. The fundamentals are now pushing back down. So it's only up about 179 points. It was up close to 600 points earlier. And basically all of the gains from today were depleted. So this big push right here from open, because market did open right here at 630, it pushed up and then all those gains just depleted. And it's right back to where it was before. This is why you guys want to be careful when you guys are entering trades, because there's a lot of manipulation happening in the market. This is a crazy push though. Market opened right here at 630 and then it pushed up 2,670 pips. Then it came back down 2,670 pips. And now it's back to where it was like if this never even happened. So it's like this kind of never happened and it's back to where it was earlier. So that's why I sit out of market conditions like this, because it's just too risky. I mean, price is going to do one of two things here, but we'll see how it plays out. Scotty over here said in his profits, he locked in a total profit of 835. Nice work, Scotty. So let me scroll down a little bit and see if I missed anything. Rick said just buy a 200K YOLO account instead of a couple bottles of Class A school. I know, right? Yeah, John says it seems like the breakout ignore biased oftentimes. It ignores bias when the sentiment isn't heavily in one direction. John, that's what I've noticed. That's why sometimes it's okay to take the breakout like in whatever direction when there's no bias, because there's no clear direction as to like where you technically should be trading, right? There's no real direction you should be trading, but technically, using the sentiment here, when it's like 50-50 or like somewhere where it's not one-sided, the breakout usually moves in whatever direction it goes, because you're not really expecting a specific direction initially. You're just waiting for it to push that way and then it'll just correct back down after. Looks like some of you guys here took the 3-minute daily. Yeah, I don't really apply this strategy here, but if you guys took it, it did hit full TP as well. One thing that I would have been careful for is that it was right at the session zone. So that's why, I mean, if I was looking to take it, I would be careful, or I probably would have, I would just skip it. But if you guys caught it, looks like Kurt might have caught it. It looks pretty solid. Nice. So Kurt did hit his full TP off the breakout, off the 3-minute. So nice work, Kurt. I didn't take it. I think it was a very risky trade, but sometimes you guys can take it and not really care, which is good. I mean, it's good because you guys are trusting the strategy. That's what I mean. Not that you guys should be YOLOing and take trades, but it's good that you guys are trusting your analysis and breakdown of the trade. But here we go. As I mentioned earlier, when price comes down to this point, it's probably going to come down and just consolidate. And that's exactly what's happening here. Price came down into the correction area, and then now it's just going sideways. It'll be followed by a breakout, but it's going to be a matter of time until it does. Nice. Rick said he made another 1,200. I'm out. Yeah, nice work, Rick. I just saw your message from earlier. You said jump in now, take the beat back to open. I know I probably should have done that, Rick. I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, I should have taken this for 100 pips just back to the open. It's all good. Nice. Kurt said, Sean, I won 2 trades in a row. Nice, Kurt. You're finding that consistency. Nice. Yeah, Akil actually did what I typically do. Akil said, Sean, took the final 10 pips to open like you do, hit TP. Yeah, I missed it. It's all good. I'm glad to see you guys are still locking in some pretty good profit though. Yeah, Professor said, love those huge market pushes on open, often comes back to open. Yeah. So typically, whenever these moves happen, you can expect a correction, especially if there's a bias in this direction. Like for me, even though the sentiment over here and fundamentals don't indicate, a sell, I know that price is going to come down because we're in a recession, right? That's why I always like default back to sells. I think for the most part, whenever we're here on these live sessions, my bias is typically going to be a sell most of the time. And the reason for that's because we're in a recession. It's kind of like during COVID, right? during COVID, it was easy to take sells. Like you can literally take sells and not even think about it because we knew the market wasn't doing well. Same with the recession. Even though price is pushing up, I do think price is going to come back down because the recession isn't good for the economy. It's not good for the stock market. So just always keep that in mind whenever you guys are looking and there's no overall bias. Jason said, Sean, should I get a 200K account or two 100K accounts? I would just go with the 200K account. It's I feel like the 100K accounts are just, it's a lot more work. You might as well just max it out and then use the bigger accounts. Let's see, Maddie still got the retracement signal. I think price is going to go down to knock out liquidity. Yeah, so as you guys can see right here, there's still a lot of liquidity that's sitting right here on the bottom. But it just hasn't been, obviously hit yet. So let's see if this would be a V. Yeah, there'd be a V1 right here, Matt. Are you taking it? Let's see. Yeah, I might wait for the retracement. I wasn't able to get into it. I don't want to get in late, FOMO into here. If it does retrace, we'll see. Yeah, sometimes it just moves too fast where I can't enter right away. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna hit. It did. Too late for that. Yeah, it's all good. It just moved too fast. As soon as this candle closed, I was waiting for it to maybe retrace up a little bit, but it didn't. So if you guys took this V1 right here, nice. The V1 right here. It's all good. Wait for the next one. Yeah, that would have been a good one too. That would have been the trade for my account today. But yeah, with these kind of market conditions, guys, I'm probably, and we're in the summer, so we're not really expecting there to be too many like really good solid entries. So for me personally, I'm probably going to be looking for just maybe one or two good trades each day. And I'm just going to keep stacking up, right? I'm going to keep stacking up until the market conditions start to pick up a little more where we can look for more entries. Yeah, that would have been a good one, but it's all good. Thing that you want to be careful for here is if you guys are looking to take any sells, it's really close to these sessions and the opening price right here, right? So things you want to look out for: sessions, opening price, two of the biggest red flags right there. So just be careful because when price reaches this point right here, price might reject off it. One of two things will happen: price will either bounce off it or it's going to continue dropping from there. So it's right here. All right, Jennifer, we'll see you tomorrow. Kurt's asking, why did the market push 2K at open? I was analyzing that earlier, Kurt. Did you maybe you just weren't paying attention, but there was news this morning. So I said this whole morning I hear there was news. So there was news here at 5:30, there was news here at 6. It was both bullish news. So market was reacting to the news from this morning. There was news here at 5:30, there was news here at 6. Market opened at 6:30. That's why I had that push, because it was a late reaction. This happened pre-market, and when the market opened at 6:30, people bought into this because the news was positive. That's why it pushed up. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, Akil said need price to pass sessions. Yeah, and I agree. This is going to be the area here where you want to be careful for, because I typically don't trade around these areas at all. Because the last thing you want to do is enter a trade for a sell, then it ends up bouncing off, and you end up losing the trade due to some sort of market manipulation at this at one of these points. You can see right here that it happens a lot. Like looking at the previous candles over here, price kind of just messes around before it breaks out. So for example, if you're looking for a sell here, and then you're kind of stuck in it, and then it breaks out the opposite way, you would have lost. So that's why I don't like taking trades around these points, because you're basically taking a 50% chance, because realistically you can't really tell if price is going to bounce off it or if it's going to shoot up. So that's why I don't like trading around these points. I like trading when I have a higher probability of winning. So I want to make sure I have like maybe a 70% chance, 80% chance, etc. I don't want anything if it's super low. Like a 60% chance of winning is not something that I want to take. Neither is a 50-50. You're basically gambling at that point. Right here, there's just obviously there's no clear direction here. Price is now ranging. But now that price is ranging, you can expect a breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside, one or the other. Yeah, Maddie said possible triple confluence into liquidity, but hella sessions and open price. Yeah, same here, Maddie. Like it would have been nice if this wasn't here. If there was just opening price, then maybe. But there's a lot of possible areas of rejection right here. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky move here. Price basically just went back to where it was earlier. So if you could look back at this over here. So this is basically where price was before this, kind of weird push move up and down. So this rectangle here that I drew, you can see that price was going sideways and dropped, came back into this area, pushed up, then it just came back and it's now doing the same thing. So you can see that this is basically like the flat line area. This is basically where price is in the middle. And you can see how it kind of fakes out sometimes in either direction. This happened during Asia session on pre-market. So, I mean, this stuff could be kind of, I guess, market was closed. So that's why you don't really have any clear direction. But now the market is open. This is where it can actually choose its direction, whether it wants to go up or whether it wants to go down. So another test over here as price continues. It just keeps testing the sessions right here. It's basically testing the sessions and the opening price. Yeah, Kurt and Patrick both confirmed that the 10-minute daily is also sniped. So let me check real quick. Yeah, so this is technically the daily entry and it's also a snipe, but yeah, as Kurt and Patrick confirmed, there is it's right at these prices right here again, at the sessions and opening price. Now it's at news price. So it broke down below, hit the liquidity right here. Now it's dropping a bit. But it's just, you know how far it's going to push until it ends up swinging back up. All right, so this is a really tricky area where it's currently moving. Kurt said I took a low risk. Don't want to end up like Steven, only 0.04 lot. Yeah, it's a smart move. Kurt, I probably would have done this. Well, I mean, if I was to take a trade that was risky, I would just lower the lot size. Liquidity got hit. Unfortunately, it's in an area that that I personally would not want to trade in. The 10-minute over here is running. The dissatisfied both the daily entry and the snipe. Looks like the snipe's probably gonna hit TP. All right, Kurt, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day at work. But yeah, guys, so here's the there's two entries that came up right here. So you guys identified the snipe. There was a snipe right over here. And it looks like it's going to, or if it not already did, hit full TP. So the first entry right there that's about to hit full TP is a snipe. Looks like it's going to hit. Yeah, it looks like it hit TP already. And then the bigger range right here is going to be the daily entry for you guys who are not familiar with the strategies. So this right here is going to be the, I mean, obviously the daily entry. It's the first valid momentum signal after market open at 6:30. And then this right here is going to be the the snipe, which the snipe did hit full TP right there. And you guys can see right here where price is starting to bounce, right? So this is why I keep clear of these specific entries where it's close to these red flags, which would be the sessions, opening price, and news price. You guys can see exactly where price is wicking off, right? So these two candles right here are wicking directly off this pink line. This pink line right here is news price. So I don't trade where any of these horizontal lines are. Whenever there's a line going sideways, I don't trade at any of those points. Because you're kind of gambling. You're basically, you have a 50% chance whether price bounces off it or if it continues dropping below. But even if it does drop below, you have another problem right here, another news price. Yeah, Charles said it would have been a perfect setup if there wasn't sessions and opening price, 10-minute snipe, 10-minute daily, and 1-minute liquidity push. Yeah, I agree, Charles. Unfortunately, there was too many red flags there, so that's why I didn't take anything myself. But yeah, there would have been a lot of good entries because there was a lot of liquidity sitting right here on the bottom. You know, also the snipe over here, that would have been a good trade, but same difference, you know, it's still a risky move. And same with the daily entry right here. So the daily entry does look good, but again, it's bouncing directly off the news price. So for me personally, guys, you guys know how I trade. I'm very conservative. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because the thing is, if you take a loss, you're going to be in the hole, especially if you're applying, you know, strategies that don't have one-to-one risk to reward. If you're applying the snipe, it's kind of okay because this is a one-to-one, and you could have hit your TP or you could have not. Same with the daily, it's one-on-one as well. But if you're applying trades on the 1 minute, which have a negative risk to reward, you have to be very careful because if you lose a trade, you're going to be in the hole, you know, 2 or 3 trades basically, or 2 or 3 wins in order to recoup it. So for me personally, it's like just waiting for the one quality trade and then moving on to the next day, because the more trades that you take, you know, the higher risk you have, because every trade you take, there's a risk that you're going to lose a trade. So if you just take one trade that's really, really good and it hits and you move on to the next day, that's how you can keep, you know, building your account. You just grow about 1 or 2% a day, and that should be fine because you're going to find at least 1 or 2 good trades. There's always a trade at least once a day. Doesn't matter what strategy you're applying, you can find a good one. Like for example, right here, there was a V1 up here, right? I think this is the one that Maddie was identifying earlier, the one that he looked at. This could have been the one trade you took today. It wouldn't have been this full push right here, but you would have taken it for a quick TP right there. And then you would have been solid for the day. Especially if you're trading like a solid, like a pretty decently big account, like a 200K account or a 100K account, you could be close to 500 or to 1,000 in profit. And that's basically like a day's work. There just isn't anything for us to take right here. It's just in a really crappy area where these sessions are, and the news price right here. I wish I could take something, but there just isn't anything for us to take right now. Yeah, Maddie said maybe luring in retail traders. Yeah, I can see that. Because there's no direction. I mean, if we had some sort of direction, then great. I'd start looking in that direction, but there's nothing here. Overall, I'm going to be looking for sells though. So even though in the retail sentiment here is now back to 52% long, so I am looking for sells. The main issue here is going to be the fundamentals. Fundamentals are still kind of high. They're up 145 points. So this contradicts the retail sentiment, but overall, I think price is going to continue dropping. And you can see right there, it is dropping. Yeah. Anything else here that I'm missing? So there's no triple confluence right here. In order for there to be triple confluence, there has to be a momentum signal. So in order for that to satisfy, we would here. So we would need a buy signal to come up before another sell signal can come up after. In order for it to be a triple confluence. Triple confluence, if I ever see one of those, I typically would always take it because I don't think I've lost that trade like ever. They rarely come up though. So yeah, another issue with this is there's no overall bias. So like, I mean, there could be a light bias, but if we were just to skip that, we would still need a valid momentum signal. Trend meter would need to be red, which it is. Price would need to be below the pivots, which it is right there. And also it would need to break and close past a high low, which would be this level right here, or the other one previously. All right, looks like price is starting to continue its way down further. There's still a lot of liquidity down here. So I'm expecting it to possibly drop even further. Let me see if these would have been really good liquidity pushes right here. They all would have hit. This liquidity push would have hit. This liquidity push would have hit. Yeah. There's a lot of areas here that would have hit. But these red flags had to be in the way. It's like frustrating because like I could have taken any one of those trades right there and it would have been good. Nothing else here yet. All right, let's see. Yeah, exactly. Jonathan said better to be safe than sorry. I'm just getting antsy now. I kind of want to take a trade, but there's just nothing for us to take now. It is breaking past this next news price right here, which is cool. But just gotta control myself and be disciplined not to FOMO into any trades, because you guys know that feeling like when you're just waiting for a trade and you kind of want to FOMO into something like something that's not really there. So I still get this, like the same feeling you guys get. Like, how price is pushing right here and you kind of want to chase that sell. I get that same feeling, guys. So I'm going to try to analyze. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go clean up or mark up the cleanup chart over here so that I don't FOMO into any trades, because I could already feel myself like wanting to FOMO into something. So I'm going to go here to the 1 minute chart, 1 minute clean chart, and I'm going to mark up the liquidity here and whatnot, so that we can have an idea, where price went for the day. So I think the news today was at 5:30. So let's see, 5:30, 5:36, 6:59, 7. Okay, so 5:30, which was right here. And this is what you guys can do sometimes. If you guys feel yourself like that you're going to FOMO into a trade, or you're going to make some bad decisions trading, just go and analyze something, right? Just take your mind off the current chart. Because if you guys keep looking at the chart and you start kind of forcing yourself to see something that's not really there, odds are you're going to FOMO into a trade and probably going to take something super risky. So just a word of advice, because I still go through the same thing. All right, so we got that right there. I'm gonna mark up opening price, which is and then I'm going to mark up opening price right there. This is gonna give you guys a better view of like where price is going. All right, so I've marked up pretty much the clean chart right here. This is a chart with like the minimal markups. As you guys can see, market opened right here at 6:30, price pushed up, came back down between 6:30 and 7. From 7 to 8, price pushed down to this point. Looks like it's now going into some sort of consolidation. And then once it hits 8 o'clock over here, we'll see if price continues to push lower or if it corrects back up slightly. But from my perspective over here, it kind of looks like price is going to start consolidating to some extent. Or not really consolidate, but move sideways. Let's see what we got over here. Not really much going on. Price hit that area of liquidity, so it's now at the lowest point. Their price is now kind of just bouncing around news price. So you can see this current candle right here. You can see where it wicked directly off that pink line. That was news price from earlier today. So these horizontal lines do make a big difference, guys. This kind of gives you a framework as to where to avoid trades, because you can see a lot of manipulation happening around these points. Like for example, right here, price did go sideways for a bit once it got to this news price, but eventually drop below. Same with this one over here. Price may continue going sideways as well before it makes a drop or continues pushing in one direction or the other. Yeah, Patrick said fundamentals are still green 100 points. We don't have alignment with bias. Yeah, which sucks. But, typically the week can be like that. Like we can have no bias for like Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, all of a sudden we have bias, right? That's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a better day like that to come. But yeah, just like what Patrick said, there's no complete bias right now. It's still up 89 points. Looking over here at the heat map, the heat map is starting to shift a little bit, which is a good thing. You can see it's now pretty mixed. Looking over here at the stock index, half the stocks here are green, half the stocks are red. So you can see that there's a shift in price. It's not completely green anymore. It's now half green, half red. Not very strong for the red side, but it is still starting to pick up. So, but with that said, price isn't doing anything right now. Peter said the push up and drop to where it was. Now that's 6,000 pips. I know that's crazy, right, Peter? For a random day like today, huge drop down like that. Not really drop down, but a push up and drop down. So that range from open over here is just crazy. So this is the price range for today. Let me just mark up where price has moved for the entire session so far. So 6 o'clock, 6:30 right here. All right, so for the day so far, price has moved about 3,700 pips to the upside and back to the downside. That's a big push for like a day. Well, I mean, there's a lot of news today, so it's kind of expected, but it's kind of a big push for a summer day or like a summer season. Typically during the summer, price will move like max like 1,500 pips. That's why it's kind of impossible to take the daily entries during the summer, because you'll be holding on to that trade for like days sometimes if the market doesn't move at all. And you guys remember that from like last summer, right? We were holding on to a trade for like almost 24 hours on US30, right? Just wouldn't even move. So this today is, I mean, this is an outlier, how the market's moving today. All right, we have another high right here. Price has pretty much confirmed its range. Yeah, so price is literally just going sideways now. Nothing too crazy. Man, I still have not taken my one trade yet. It's all good though. At least I haven't had a loss. That's the thing that keeps me positive right now. I haven't had any loss yet, so that's the good thing. But now I just have to control my discipline not to force any trades here, because this is actually a lot riskier now. It was probably going to be less riskier for me to take the breakout here and just catch 100 pips or catch the correction back down for 100 pips. But now that price is consolidating sideways right here, this is where it actually becomes a little more dangerous because we don't really have a direction. Price can kind of push either way. So we'll see. If I don't see anything good for me to take from now until 8 o'clock, then it's fine. I'll just close out the day with a dry account. No profit, no loss. Just analysis, I guess. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. All right, let's go check something over here. All right, so there's not really much going on with US30 right now. I'm just looking at NASDAQ. I mean, it's moving pretty aligned with it. It's going down as well. So I think all of the indices are starting to make its way back down. See this over here. It's actually moving a bit smoother. So there's no V3s here. Actually, there's a V3 that was right here. That'd have been good. I've seen a lot of people use the same strategies we use here for US30 on NASDAQ, and it does work pretty fine as well. Maybe something I can look into, play around with. Yeah, because there's a lot of liquidity here as well. So like if, that reminds, maybe I should do that. Let me check real quick. Because if we're not getting a sentiment here on Spain, let me check the sentiment for NASDAQ. I don't think they have the same type of sentiment. Actually, no, I have it right here. Or not. That's weird. US 100 retail sentiment. Yeah, because I'm looking over here, but they don't have it on the, it's not the same type of, there's no percentages. Probably would have to use the IG one. Yeah, actually, maybe we should start incorporating NASDAQ because the same strategies work for NASDAQ, but they actually have a bias here. It's 61% long. I'll just leave that up here in case I ever want to take a look. Because if US30 is just being like, I mean, they're moving the same direction though. I don't know. I'll take that into consideration. I haven't really traded NASDAQ in a while. I only traded NASDAQ. I'm technically trading NASDAQ today on my personal account because my buddy who trades for the hedge fund, he told me to take the sell for NASDAQ. That's why I took it personally. Let's see. I'm just trailing a sell right now. And if I would have taken a bigger lot size, way bigger. Anyways, back to US30. There's just nothing for us to take right now, unfortunately. Try my best not to FOMO into anything. Well, I mean, even if I wanted to FOMO into anything, there's nothing for us to take right now. There's an area of liquidity that's building up right here, though. So if that establishes and price continues to push in that direction, yeah, price might continue, or it might come and hit that point. But at the moment, there really isn't much for us to make out of it. The thing with price right now for US30 is that it's back at news price right here. It's just retesting the news price, but it's back into this range. I was trying to see if there was going to be like some sort of V3 or V1 that came up here, but there wasn't anything. Let's see. Miles said I miss hearing the sound of you talking trade, Sean. I know this market sucks right now, but it's you know, this was anticipated for summer. It's not like this is a random occurrence. It's just the summer is slow. You'll get like these weird movements, and then when price gets into a pocket like it is right here, it just didn't go sideways for. It just goes sideways. It doesn't really do anything. So we have some profits over here that were posted by some of the members. So Casey over here, nice work, Casey. Casey locked in a total profit of 1,528. Looks like he took the breakout this morning. Kind of see the timestamp right here. So nice work off that, Casey. Going down over here, Fern as well. Looks like he took the breakout earlier. He took the sell off NASDAQ. Nice. So you're also in the sell there. So Fern is one of the members who actually trades NASDAQ. You guys can see right here. He said full TP on both. Thank you, Sean. So he took the buy here for the breakout, locked in a total profit of 1,437. And then he took a sell here for NASDAQ, locked in a total profit of 4,516. So nice work right there, Fern. He's one of the members that trades. I think he trades Bitcoin too or something. I forgot. But I remember when you first joined Casey, you asked me about it. And you actually started trading it. So nice work off that, Fern. Patricia over here, she said done for the day. Locked in a total profit of 2,734. Nice work, Patricia. And then her other account over here, or she just locked in a little more off the same account, locked in a total profit of 3,129. So nice work right there, Patricia. There was a V1 right here. It was a double body, but it was right at news price. So it's not one that I would have taken. I was hoping price would be below, but it's still kind of messing around this area. So yeah, this would have been a V1 and it would have already hit full TP. This is trash. So there we go. V1 right there for this entry. Price just keeps ending up giving entries like around areas where I don't like to trade. I mean, this could honestly went either way. There you go. As price hits liquidity. Let me see, like maybe, no, I'm not going to do it. I was going to, I should have done it. It's okay. I'm just being safe today, guys. I was thinking about just hitting my sell on the DOM. If I wish it kind of did, it would have hit my TP already. So I missed two trades there. This I missed because the news was right there. And then this right here, I missed because the candle was too big. I was worried it was going to retrace. Yeah, Charles said news price hit too fast. Yeah, no, exactly. Maddie said better safe than sorry, Sean. Yeah, and I agree. I'm starting to get some FOMO here. So it's all good. I'm gonna turn off my MC4 actually. I don't want to FOMO into anything because I already have my, I could feel it. I'm gonna hit sell at some random point. So now I'm gonna close my MC4 right here. All right, we're good. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I've closed my MC4. I'm currently in a trade right here, NASDAQ, on my personal account, currently up about 200 bucks. It's a 0.01 small account. I just took the sell earlier and then I'm just trailing it down as price continues to, obviously drop lower. 930. That's solid. So I've been in a sell for NASDAQ pretty much for the past hour or so, but this is off my personal account. This is like, I guess I would consider this my YOLO account, because we don't have the what's it called, the loss requirements. Obviously, I can just take these trades and let them run. Let's see. Alex is asking, couldn't that last one have been a V3 instead of a V1? This one right here would not be a V3 because you need a minimum stop loss of at least 300 pips. So for a V3 right here, you need a minimum stop loss or somewhere near. It doesn't have to be exactly 300 pips, but it can be like 250, 270, somewhere around there. For this one over here, the stop loss would have been too close. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to push the button, you could. It's at like 190 pips, but I probably wouldn't because you typically would need at least 300 pips for a V3. Which, I mean, it still would have hit, but you're kind of pushing the envelope by, pushing that stop loss a lot further back than it needs to be. Yeah, it looks like the daily here hit as well, guys. So if you guys took the daily here for US30, both the daily entry hit full TP and both the snipe entry hit full TP as well. So if you guys traded here on the 10-minute, I mean, it would have been pretty good for either one. Gallo's asking, this may be a goofy question. Where do you save the strategy? I still have mine on my sticky notes. I don't like doing stuff by hand, Gallo, so I have everything here on TradingView. So this is how I pull up the strategies right here. If you type up the strategies on one of these text things, you just click template right here, click save as, and you can name the strategy. So I never use sticky. Well, I mean, I did a long time ago and I put them on my computer, but I don't use those anymore. I just put them on the TradingView because I don't really need the requirements. Like for me personally, I know these strategies like by heart because I created them. So I don't necessarily need the stickies. But yeah, I mean, that's probably gonna be your best option, Gallo. If you're not good with like having it on your screen like this, then yeah, the stickies would probably be your best option. I don't know what everyone else does, but I think a lot of people still do that as well. Let's see, Miles said, well, dang, Sean, since you were too scared to take some trades, I took them for you. Thanks, Miles. Miles actually took the sells here. He took pretty much all the sells. He locked in a pretty good profit right here, Miles. So you did pretty good. 300, 400, 500, 600, close to 700 right here about. So nice work, Miles. Glad to see that you guys are still profiting while I'm here being scared. Well, good thing that I closed my MC4 because now I'm not going to FOMO into any trades. I could already feel myself wanting to FOMO. The thing with this here is like when I see something, if I see price dropping a little bit, I kind of want to just take a sell for whatever reason. And I'm sure you guys get that too. Like, for example, you see price dropping here for a little bit, and then you want to just take it for a sell because you're like, oh, I'll write it down to like the next level right here, which looks like it could have been good for 100 pips, but it's all good. Scotty over here posted his profits as well, locked in a total profit of 1,542. Nice work, Scotty. Charles over here locked in a total profit of 232 for the day. He took that one trade. He said he caught the liquidity, caught that liquidity, took it even though there was a sessions on the lower lot though. Yeah, so he took the liquidity push earlier, locked in a total profit of 232. Nice work, Charles. Let's see. Kel said previous day's high was buy side liquidity. It was also 4-hour liquidity and rejecting to now go take out the London Asia low. It's probably bearish rest of the day. Yeah, I could probably see that. I don't know for the rest of the day. I probably would see this maybe shift back up mid-market because, the mid-market reversal is probably going to happen soon. Typically, when we get off the market at 8 o'clock, market will just consolidate for a bit. And then when price reaches, say, like 10 o'clock over here, it starts to, go the opposite direction. So I probably see it consolidating after 8 o'clock. I mean, for right now, it's kind of like overextended. So it was overextended for a buy. Now it's overextended for a sell. Now price is like due to push back up or retrace a bit before pushing back up. And if it does push back up, this is going to be the target area again. It's going to be the same area from earlier. This is basically midway point. Whenever it comes time for it. So let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let's see. Maddie over here is profits. He said caught partial off the V1 body at 708, pulled early because it was a bit risky, bounced off the zones with fundamentals up, locked in a total profit of 282 off this account. Nice work, Maddie. And then his second account over here locked in a total of 865. So great profits, guys, so far today. Maddie, again, some updated profits, locked in 427 off this account, and then 1,255 off this account. Nice, guys. Yeah, no problem, Gallo. I think it's better to have it on your screen too, because it just takes away from the clutter. Like whenever you want to focus on just one strategy, you can just put it up there and you can be following it like that. It's probably gonna be a lot easier so that you're not looking at so many things at once. If you have so many strategies on your screen, you're gonna get confused sometimes as to like what you're trying to follow. Kill is asking, Sean, the pivots are showing a downwards trend, right? Yeah, they are. So price is currently trending downwards because price is below the pivots. The pivots are spread out and the trend meter is red. But you can see that price is overextended. It's dropped down for too long, so it might be due for a retracement. So what you might want to look out for is for price to retrace up, probably slightly above the pivots, and then a continuation back down. That's what you could probably see coming. So guys, it's 7:55 right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Unfortunately, I haven't taken any trades myself, but I'm glad to see that a lot of you guys here did lock in some pretty good profits so far today. If you guys have profits to send in, feel free to send them in, and then I will add them to the list of profits to be shared today. But looking at our profits for today, you guys did pretty good overall, even though my account's pretty empty for the most part, aside from my personal account. Let me check my personal account actually. Not too bad. I made about 172 off my personal account. I took a 0.01 lot size of NASDAQ. Pretty much let it run down a bit. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Nice. Let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. As you can see, price is starting to swing back up right here. This is about due because we do need that retracement before price can continue dropping lower. So there's a possible V1 here, but again, it's right at the news price. You can see price comes like exactly to the news price right here, and then it rejects directly off it. This is why you want to be careful, because the thing is, this can also be a fake out. Even though it's rejecting directly off, it doesn't mean it's going to continue dropping. But yeah, this would technically be a V1. However, it falls under the red flag news price. Or not. We'll see where it closes. Yeah, variation V1, double body. However, when to avoid trades when price is near news price, which is right here, this pink line. It's all good. I'm not going to FOMO into it because my MC4 is closed. But we'll see. I'll just mark it up a little bit right here. We'll just use this as an example to show you guys why it's a bit risky. So when price is at news price like this, one of two things can happen. Obviously, you guys know what can happen. Price will either hit your stop loss or hit your TP. And you can see how it's like heavy in drawdown right now. This is why I wouldn't want to touch it. And like Maddie said as well, there's also liquidity sitting right here on top. So that's why I would not have taken this trade here. Main thing is the news price. Let's see if this has changed it at all. It's now 53% long, which is good. So in our favor, 54% now, actually. Looking at the fundamentals have kind of died down a bit. Now they pushed back up above 100. Yeah, I'm glad I turned off my MC4 because if I was in this trade right here, I'd be kind of stressed out because all the trades before hit and then this one right here is starting to act all funny, right? This is typically what happens. It's why you have to know when not to FOMO into a trade. Because if you FOMO into something, you can get caught in something like this where you're just not really sure where price is going to go. Typically, these 1 minute trades or these V1s hit pretty fast. Like within the first 1, 2, 3 minutes, they hit TP. Right here, it looks like price is going to it's going to mess around a bit before it chooses what direction it's going to go to. But yeah, guys, it's 8 o'clock. So I think that's it for this session here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, you guys are free to welcome me or to, so you're welcome to email me or message me on Telegram if you guys have any specific questions. But for me personally, I think I'm going to sit out the rest of the session and then I'll come back tomorrow when the market is hopefully moving a bit smoother. I think tomorrow we have a lot of news as well, which could be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we have OPEC meeting all day. We have Fed member Messer speaking at 3:15 pre-market. We have final GDP price index at 5:30 as well. And then we have Federal Chair Powell speaking at 6 a.m. So basically tomorrow is going to be a Fed day. We have Fed member Messer speaking, we have Powell speaking. We have the GDP being released. Then we have Fed member Bullard speaking again at 10 o'clock. So we do have a lot of news tomorrow. It could be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. It can be a good thing because it can cause the market to move. And hopefully when it moves, it's going to create a bias. Basically if Powell pushes price one way or the other, it's going to shift the retail sentiment along with the fundamentals over here. So yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Let's see, Peter said, I think Powell will mention another 50 basis points increase for July. Yeah, I can see that too. They're going to have to increase interest rates, guys. It's the only way that we'll get out of this recession. People are going to hurt one way or the other, but that's the only way that they're going to be able to raise money to basically bring back the economy. So right here goes a V1. Looks like it's going to hit TP, but you guys can see it wasn't a smooth move at all. And there you go, full TP off the V1. So basically every trade that we saw today hit full TP, but this one right here was probably the riskiest because it kind of just bounced around before it came down and hit TP. So if you guys caught it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's all good. I didn't catch it, so it's not going to count. And I'm all right. No trades today, but I did make something on my personal account. So it's a little something for the day. But other than that, I think that's about it, guys. So if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we will be back here tomorrow morning for the next live session, same place, same time. Hopefully the market's going to be moving a bit smoother and we'll have some sort of direction to follow. Probably a sell. But other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks, Akhil. See you tomorrow as well. So see you guys.